This is Joe. This is Real Sports Talk Radio with Ramon and Joe, bringing you the livest and most in-tune sports talk you ever heard in your life. Yo, Joe, what's up? What are you doing out there?
Ain't much, man. Just enjoying a couple last games out here, man. How you doing?
It's not bad. This is the first inaugural Real Sports Talk show. 2 hours of straight sports talk from a young man perspective. Hopefully it'll be entertaining. Each and every Monday, 8 to 10 a.m.
With no with no experience.
Exactly. But live on 91.5 Lewiston, Maine, Base College Radio.
So we're coming raw to you people. So don't get mad at us.
First thing first, man. Brooklyn, you talking Jamie right here. Brooklyn born by Flatbush Avenue, coming out, out here to Lewiston, Maine. I'm gonna say it again. I'm a Giants fan. Everybody, squash your feelings. I am a Giants fan. I am biased, but we're gonna try to be objective on this show. Yo.
Yeah, man. It's me, Joe, from Boston, Patriots fan. Giants killer. So I'm here on this, man. Let's get the show started.
Very good.
Talk some sports.
Listen, first thing first. Let's break down Sunday's games, man. There's a lot of good games that went passed by.
A lot of close games.
So many tight games. One of the best things about this week is we had some real referees. It doesn't mean we're not gonna get blown calls. It just means we got send those people back to the JUCO or the lingerie football league, wherever these people came from, right? Wherever they came from, they could go back to their day and night job. You know what I mean? But first game we got. Let's touch on Atlanta at Carolina. This one on its face looked like a easy game to call, easy game to pick, but it went down a little closer than that. Final score: Atlanta 30, Carolina 28. Cam Newton 15 to 24.
Yeah, he had a good game.
Two touchdowns, 215 yards.
Decent game.
Nine rushes, 86 yards, one touchdown. It looks like on his face a normal Cam Newton day. Passes efficiently, runs the ball efficiently. On the rushing side, D'Angelo Williams, 11 rushes, 49 yards, one touchdown. But again, Carolina, as a young team, always implodes on themselves. 9 penalties, and Cam Newton with 2 fumbles, one at the end of the game, costing his team the win.
I mean, throughout the stretch, they kept a couple of live drives. They kept it close for the most part. They were ahead. But I just think the game management towards the end of the fourth quarter is where it really caught up to them. Just under 2 minutes, not being able to convert that first down really left that offense in flux. Mm-hmm. But the Atlanta Falcons are off to one of their best starts since 2004, 4-0. In 2000, they're off to their best start. Their 4-0 start since 2004, where they reached their first NFC championship, their last NFC championship. Despite taking a career high 7 sacks, Matt Ryan threw 3 touchdown passes for Atlanta. and Matt Bryant added 3 field goals, which led to a game-winning drive. What about Roddy White with that 59-yard catch?
Right. Roddy White, big explosive game.
Monster game.
Whoever thought that he would be taking a side seat to Julio Jones, better take notice. Dude looks like he wants to make a stamp that, you know what, I'm going to be on this team, and if I'm not going to be on this team next year, I'm going to be on somebody else's team making a boatload of dollars. Matt Ryan, 25 for 40, 360 yards, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, playing like an MVP. I know he's your MVP pick
that
this
right.
season, but he's really playing like an MVP. Big game. Michael Turner, 13 rushes, 103 yards. Ridiculous. Carolina couldn't stop anybody rushing the ball. Couldn't stop the ball from being rammed down their throats. And again, Roddy Wright, 8 receptions, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a long one near the end of the game set them up for the comeback win. Atlanta over Carolina in the last seconds of the fourth quarter, 30-28.
And also, given to how Cam Newton and that offense was playing early on in that game, where was Steve Smith? 3 receptions for 52 yards, no touchdowns.
One thing I gotta say about Cam Newton, I'm a fan of Cam Newton, man. But look, there's a lot of he's not ready for the upper echelon yet. He's a second-year player. There's a lot being thrust upon his shoulders. Team is asking him to do a lot of things, but he is only a second-year player, and he seems very, very immature right now. He goes. I don't know how many top echelon quarterbacks. I've never seen Peyton Manning or Tom Brady go to the sidelines and put a towel over their heads and sit on the last bench by yourself, away from your teammate, away from teammates. I never seen Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, when you get blown out, pull out the chest like you Superman. I mean, this kid needs to grow up. I'm just gonna say the kid needs to grow up. He has a lot of potential, and I'm sure he will reach his potential, but it's not just yet. And this team is not a great team. They have a lot of growing to do, and this is another speed bump. Atlanta looks like a championship team, and it looked like they really get bouncing back from last year's dismal playoff appearance.
Yeah, against the Giants.
Courtesy of the football Giants.
Man.
Well, let's do the next game, Joe.
All right, moving on to Buffalo and New England at Buffalo. New England came back second half, 52, I think they scored 45 points in the second half, winning the game 52-28. Ramon?
Yes. Buffalo, the boy Fitzpatrick. I've never sold on this guy, but you know what? He has a way of putting up points. I mean, he really does. 22 of 39, and especially going to put up points when you throw the ball for 39 times a game.
Yeah.
But 22 for 39, 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, especially against that Patriots defense. Yes, that Patriots defense is suspect.
Let me add this.
If you want to know the, huh?
No, go ahead.
If you want to know the Achilles heel of the Patriots team, it is the defense, okay? When Ryan Fitzpatrick throws for 350 yards, yeah, you in trouble, okay? You in trouble. 438 yards of total offense, but Buffalo still employed on themselves 6 turnovers. Time of possession was even. And they actually led at the end of the first half, only to lose.
Only to lose, 21-7.
Take it over.
Yeah, Buffalo had a strong start. They started 21-7 in the first half. You know, not after Tom Brady coming back with his over 300 yards, one rushing touchdown, three passing touchdowns. For the second half of that game, Tom Brady was on another level. Possible MVP candidate right now.
So I gotta say,
and they also rushed for over 240 yards.
Right, 580 total offensive yards, 45 points in the second half. Brady going 22 for 36, 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, and your boy Wes Welker. I think the media has gotten to Belichick and
good. For all those people out there talking about Wes Welker, good. Big up.
Yes, Bill Belichick does read the newspaper.
Shout out to my New England Patriots.
He does read the newspaper because he got the ball quite a bit today. Okay.
Brady's favorite target.
Right. Patriots roll on, bounce back from a loss against Baltimore, a tight game last week. It's really nice to have the Buffalo Bills on the schedule after you lose the previous week. You know what I mean? It's like dessert after a full dinner. Okay. Okay. New England 52.
I mean, it was a good bounce back game. They needed a game to get to dust the dirt off their shoulders. So they saw the red with the Buffalo Bills. So put up 52 points versus Buffalo Bills 28. Rushed over 240 yards. So it was they showed their running game. So I thought the defense made a lot of big plays, even though they gave up the 28 points and Fitzpatrick throwing over 300 yards with the 4 interceptions. Did you forget about the turnovers? I think 6 turnovers on offense, but it's still
6 turnovers for Buffalo.
Okay. I thought New England did some good things on defense. What about Gronkowski dropping that closing that first half with that drop over the middle? Tom Brady throwing to Gronkowski over there, ball getting knocked out of his hands, and that fumble that he had closing the first half also twice, and one went Wes Welker.
Right, exactly. Buffalo led at the end of the first half. Yikes! And to turn around and lose 52-28. Okay, yes, you're a bad team. No matter how much money you spend on one player, you're still a bad team.
Let me add this. Where was Mario Williams? How much are they paying that guy? Big free agent coming from the Texans.
Millions.
And he missed the playoffs for the Texans also. So
millions. On the next game up here, Minnesota at Detroit. Okay. Detroit, I don't know what to say about this team. Great season last year. Came out of nowhere. This season looks like they're just not gonna get rolling here. I mean,
where's Dominican Sue, man?
Nothing seems to be going their way. This game against Minnesota, Detroit never led the entire game. First touchdown or score, besides a field goal, was 2:56 in the fourth quarter. Matthew Stafford, 30 of 51, 319 yards, and that led to only 13 points by Detroit. I mean, like, what's going on out there? And you're facing the Minnesota Vikings with your quarterback, with Christian Pond as your quarterback. Yikes.
Hey, Minnesota ain't no pushovers, man. Last week taking down the 49ers. That defense been stepping up.
Christian Ponder had a decent game. If you call 16 for 26, 111 yards a decent game, yeah, you can say he had a decent game.
What I mean by a decent game is he managed the game. He didn't lose the game. He didn't cause the team to go down and lose the game. He managed the game. He kept the game. On a tight script.
Finish up with Minnesota.
I didn't see too much of Adrian Peterson, but but that defense really locked things down.
21 for 102 yards. Adrian Peterson, 21 for 102 yards. Led from the start, starting off with Percy Harvin with kickoff return for 105 yards. All scores by Minnesota were made by the special teams. Again, Adrian Peterson had 21 for 102. But this game wasn't much to watch. It really just showed the ineptitude of the whole entire Detroit Lions team. When you have your quarterback throwing for more than 300 yards and you only could put up 13 points on a scoreboard. So the writing on the wall does not look good for the Detroit Lions unless they can get some balance on offense and the defense finally showing up. Pass rush was their big thing. The front four was their big thing last year. It needs to show up this season.
I'm calling out Dominic Sue and Nick Ferry. Where are you guys, Mr. Attitude? What they're promoting that last year? Stomping on some guy's face last year?
Yeah, head up the next game, Joe.
All right, moving on to Tennessee and Houston. At Houston, Houston winning the game 38-14. Jake Locker getting knocked out in the first half of the game with a shoulder injury. Not too much of Chris Johnson. You know how he's been throughout the first couple of games, throughout week 4.
And goes on 4-0. First time in their lifespan as a NFL team. Matt Sharp, 20 of 28, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Forster, 24 attempts, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. They look like the best. They look like the best team in the NFL. They're playing like the best team in the NFL. They're undefeated. This looks like finally to be Houston's year. As for the Tennessee Titans, 7 points 7 points at halftime, 0-2 on the road with this loss, and even a great day like Chris Johnson does not make up for the lack of
Where's he been?
The lack of performance today. 14 points on offense, not very good.
I thought that Houston defense showed up pretty big today. Even with containing Chris Johnson, he still rushed for 141 yards, 5.6 yards per average. No touchdowns though, but Matt Hasselbeck had to come in, threw for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns and a pair of touchdowns. Arian Foster rushed for 86 yards and a touchdown. Had a decent game, but I've seen better from him. Andre Johnson, I don't know where he's been. The leading receiver of that game for Houston, Owen Daniels, 6 receptions, 72 yards, 1 touchdown. He had a decent game today. He had a good game. And Houston Texans are one of the 3 teams in the NFL who are undefeated. They move on to 4-0, and they're playing like contenders right now.
Right. This break here. Just let everybody know that Fridays from 10 a.m. to noon, is the Asiatic Eggplants, hosted by Ashleen O'Brien and Erica Schmidt on 91.5 every Friday from 10 a.m. to noon. So give those guys a try.
Check them out, guys.
Check them out. You know, with a name like that, should be some fun. Should be some fun radio. Okay. Now back to football. Next game up, Kansas City versus San Diego at Kansas City. I gotta admit, not a fan of any of these teams. But Matt Castle had a decent game, 24-42, 251 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jamal Charles, 17 for 92, 1 touchdown. Looking strong, especially coming off injury last year.
What about that win last week? What about that win last week against the Saints? That was a big win.
Yes, sir. We'll touch on the Saints in just a bit. The winless Saints. We'll touch on them in just a bit. But the Kansas City led the first half, 27-6, only to lose by 13 points. 6 turnovers in this game by Kansas City.
The Chargers to losing to Atlanta last week.
San Diego, Phillip Rivers going 18 for 23, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, 27 points in the first half by San Diego. They go on with this win to be 2-0 away, 2-0 on the road. Chargers forcing 6 turnovers and go on to win. Go on to win on the road over 37-20. Seattle at St. Louis. This game was a tough one to pick. Turned out to be a tight game.
I had St. Louis. I went on that.
Increases their home record to 2-0. Not a really pretty game. 4 field goals and 1 touchdown. St. Louis 5 for 13 on third downs, 38% conversion rate. That's as best as I can say as a positive for the St. Louis offense in this game.
But I also think the Seahawks really lacked on offense with Russell Wilson going for 17 to 25, 160 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I had my suspicions about this kid, but it's really now my suspicions are starting to prove me right that I don't think he could play in this league. I think he's all hype. I think they should just bring in the next guy. Who they pick up?
Who is the next? Let's say who is the next guy?
Matty Flynn. Played for the.
Is Matty Flynn the next guy?
Matty Flynn. I like Matty Flynn.
Well, they paid him enough money, right?
Yeah, not to sit on the bench, not to lose his starting job over some undersized rookie. He threw 3 interceptions. That St. Louis defense really locked things down. Marshawn Lynch going for 20 carries and 118 yards with 1 touchdown.
Pete Carroll, as a head coach, leaves something to be desired as an NFL head coach. I'm not sold on this guy. He has a proven history in college. He definitely has NFL experience. But when you sign a quarterback of one game, Matt Flynn had 1 game last year, and you give him a big contract, and then a couple of months into the training camp, his seat is turned over to a rookie quarterback. I got to scratch my head at the front office there over in Seattle. And you know what? It's the season doesn't stop here. It's only week 4. If they pick this guy as their quarterback for a reason, they must see something in him during practice. Okay? And a couple bad games should not turn. One bad game should not turn that over. Right? I mean, one bad game shouldn't take shouldn't
but let's not
put him on the splinters.
Especially the way Pete Carroll acted last week during that against the Green Bay Packers. He was wrong about the way he was acting, but that's Pete Carroll for you, know. But let's not
Patriot head coach.
Yes, let's not forget. 2 years ago, we took that Seattle team to a division, to a playoffs, and outplayed the Saints and beat them knocked out the Saints in the first round and moving on to lose in the second round. Let's not forget that. And that was with Matt Schaub at quarterback.
Yeah, Matt Schaub at quarterback. You know what? I'm going to give Matt Schaub a little bit more credit. Okay, I'm going to give Matt Schaub a little bit more credit. He's definitely shown to be a quality starting quarterback in this league.
He's seasoned. He's a seasoned vet.
His performance has proven out. He is not a fluke. He is not a Matt Castle. he's not a Kolb or Cobb. He's not a Tim Tebow. I really didn't want to bring up his name in this whole entire show. But you know what? I had to. But I had to. When we talk about subbing or mediocre quarterbacks, I had to put his name in there. Okay. Anyway, back to talking about Seattle. 2 for 9 on third downs. Russell Wilson, 3 interceptions, 17 for 25, 160 yards. These are rookie quarterback numbers. Okay? This is what rookie quarterbacks do. Don't care if you were Peyton Manning, Phil Simms, unless you were Dan Marino, you didn't come out of college and start winning games here. Okay, you're gonna have your struggles. Marshawn Lynch, only bright spot for this team. 20 attempts, 118 yards.
Yeah.
One touchdown.
Yeah, he had a decent game.
You know what I mean? He deserved a couple Skittles. I'm sure it probably won't do his stomach any good. You know, coming off a loss, but you know, Skittles definitely showed up in this one. Next game, San Francisco at New York Jets.
Will Mark Sanchez lose his job to Tim Tebow?
You asking me this question right now? You asking me this question? For New York Jets 0.
All right, New York Jets are having some big problems after last week losing Darrell Reeves with a non-contact injury. Today, early in the first half, they lose San Antonio Holmes to a non-contact injury. Coming off.
They face up the facts. Jets are in trouble. Abysmal offense, non-apparent defense. 13 for 29, 103 yards out of your quarterback, 4 turnovers. Something needs to change. Is it benching Mark Sanchez is benching Mark Sanchez is gonna turn the offense around? No. They need help. You lost your number 1 receiver today. You're not gonna pick up a number 1 receiver off the free agent wire. Okay. They need help. The running game, their offense was predicated on running the ball. They don't do that. John Green is not producing yards, and when you have no running game and you only had one one big time receiver and he goes out, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of more losing to go in this season, and it's only week 4. You want to bring in Tim Tebow? Get ready for wobbly passes and options.
And the Wildcat. Can't forget the Wildcat.
And the Wildcat, whatever you want to call it, him running the ball and throwing wobbly passes. I don't care what damn offense you call it. That's what it's called. Okay. As for the San Francisco 49ers, they're looking like the best. They're looking like one of the best top teams in the NFC, if not up there with Houston Texans as the best team in football. They did what they supposed to. Dallas is a mediocre team. Alex Smith 12 for 21, 143 yards, 10 nothing at the end of the first half. 10 nothing at the end of the first half. So the Jets were in the game for the first half, and then they turn around, and they lose 34-0. So that's the Jets for you, okay? 379 yards of total offense for San Francisco 49ers.
Offense.
They had a dominant defense last year, and this year they found some old. So the NFC, look out.
You want to hear? You want to listen to some stats, man? Check this out.
There's a beach.
Check this out. Listen to this stat. Yards per average, right? You ready for this? No touchdowns, 0 touchdowns, and 3 sacks. Where do they get the game?
The numbers don't lie there. The numbers don't lie. The offense is terrible. But their offense was not their factor on winning games. Okay, it was not the dominant factor of them winning games. Their team hedged on playing good defense and making just enough plays on offense to win. The real problem is their defense is not stopping anybody. Frank Gore is a very good running back. Davis, the tight end for 49ers, is a very good tight end. Alex Smith is still a manager on offense. You would think with a Rex Ryan coach team that they could find a way to stop Alex Smith at quarterback.
Yes,
stop that offense.
Just completing 12 passes out of 21 and 143 yards passing and no touchdowns. Yes, it's a very controlled offense. He's still young, filling in the shoes, but then they had to use Colin Kaepernick on a Wildcat formation to score to close out the first half.
Right. 10-0 at the end of the first half. The Jets had a chance to win this game. They were in this game. But in the second half, 24-0. Where's the defense? Where is Bart Scott, captain of this team, captain of the defense? Where's Rex Ryan? Where's Rex Ryan, the defensive genius?
Rexy.
Nowhere to be found. So this team, these players, this head coach is on the hot seat. If Rex Ryan doesn't find a way to turn this around and make this a salvageable season,
kick him out of town.
The fingers need to be pointing at him, and only at him. He's the architect. Him and Tannenbaum are the architect of this team. Somebody needs to be called on the carpet for this no play. I'm not saying they have a lot of talent. This is not a real talent-laden team. They lost a lot of.
Rex Ryan was just out coach today.
What I'm saying is it's not a talent. What I'm saying is it's not a talent-laden team. There's not a bunch of Pro Bowlers on either side of the football. So there's some leeway This kind of start was foreseeable. I didn't see this team making the playoffs, but the start that they've gotten off to is horrible. Their offense was a question mark before the season, and it's still a question mark during the season. Okay, let's go on to Oakland at Denver.
This was a good one. You had Denver winning this game, 37-6. Peyton Manning played. I think this is his best game throughout the 4 games of the season, throughout Week 4. Scoring 21 points in the third quarter. Big. He played big. I think he's back. What do you think?
Right, Denver. Peyton Manning. We gotta pause. I gotta pause when I talk about Peyton Manning. And I gotta think in the era of 2000 to 2012, he is the best quarterback that we've seen. He is coming off 3 neck surgeries. He is coming off not playing the entire season, and we have to be patient. 30 for 38, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns. Sounds like it's a Peyton Manning type of game. Throwing a lot of times, throwing a lot of throwing attempts, a lot of yardage, and putting points on the board. 27 points in the second half. Mr. McGahee, 19 attempts, 112 yards. They're getting 1 touchdown. They're getting some balance, some running game in that offense. But Denver is a work in progress. Big upgrade from last year. This offense is scoring points. Okay, they weren't scoring points last year, and if this offense can just make plays, not cough up the ball, Peyton Manning not throw interceptions, not throw ducks in the sky, and their defense does what they've been doing since last year. The sky's the limit for this team, especially the sky's the limit for this team. That's what I say. Oakland
being held very exciting.
Oakland is a bad team. Let me finish off Oakland. Oakland is a bad team. Period. Okay. All scores by field goals in this game. 6 points in the first half. Okay. 6 points in the first half. 0 points in the second half. Okay. The end. I mean, it's done. I mean, what more is out to say about this team? Okay. Abysmal.
Let me touch up on Oakland. Oakland, Broncos holding down McFadden to 34 yards of rushing on 13 rushes. Carson Palmer 19 for 34, 202 yards, 0 touchdowns. He was leading the NFL in pass attempts coming in.
Who was that?
Carson Palmer leading the NFL in pass attempts coming into the season. After losing Hayward Bay through last week, the leading receiver was Darius Moore. 4 receptions, 71 yards, 0 touchdowns. That Denver Broncos defense was just too much.
Could you tell me a little bit more about that Oakland offense, please?
Carson Palmer, who surprisingly shocked me last week with I'm going to sleep as you talk about. I'm going to sleep as you talk about that Oakland offense. Can we move on about talking about that Oakland offense? Okay? No, but listen,
they put up 6 points in the whole entire game, man. I mean, really?
But they shook me. But thank God I had the favorite in this. I had Broncos in the favorite for this. But Carson Palmer, who led last week the Oakland Raiders to a comeback win against Pittsburgh Steelers, who never got back on track. He finished with 19 of 34 and passed for 202 yards. That's all I have to say about that. They're just terrible right now. After that big win over the Steelers, I don't know what happened.
Carson Palmer.
Yeah, he deserves
Okay,
that.
I'm falling asleep. Okay, Carson Palmer. Let's put more than 6 points on the board. As for now, we're gonna take a quick short break. I hope everybody's having a little fun. I hope everybody getting a few laughs in there. We try and be entertaining.
I know we trying, man.
We trying to be entertaining. Trying to give the people what they want. All right. But let's talk about a couple of things that happen in the community. Advocates for Children Holiday Festival coming up Saturday, December 1st, 2012, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Location, St. Dominic Academy, 121 Grace Lawn Avenue, Auburn, Maine. Featuring Rick Charette, Will Silvers, award-winning juggler, wildlife critters from Sparks Art, Pelletier's karate demonstration, free makeup and take crafts, cake walk, great lunch items. Again, happening this Saturday, December 1st, 2012, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Advocates for Children Holiday Festival.
Check it out, guys.
Again, I'll finish up ticket prices. Ticket prices in advance: children $4, adults $6. At the door, children $5, adults $8. Advance ticket sales will be available in November at Hannaford stores, both Lewiston and Auburn, and at Advocates for Children, 57 Birch Street, Suite 204, Lewiston, Maine. Contact RDE Coaster at advocatesforchildren.net. Phone number 207-783-3990. And with that, we will take a short break, and we'll be back after this. And you are listening to Real Sports Talk on 91.5 FM, WRBC, Lewiston, Maine. And so we were just talk about doing an NFL recap. At Miami Dolphins at Arizona facing the Cardinals. Pretty close, pretty tight game. Somewhat expected.
Miami Dolphins at the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona coming away with the victory, 24. This one was close all game long. Jay Feely kicked a 46-yard field goal with 6 minutes and 31 seconds with a wild 24-21 victory over the Miami Dolphins on Sunday.